Hello there, welcome back to Overlord. Just on the way here actually I encountered a caravan of sheep trying to walk past the gate to somewhere. That's an important thing to note actually, is when you revisit areas and you've killed the enemies, sometimes enemies respawn, sometimes you'll find things like beetles or sheep, it's kind of weird. Um, for example, the understreets will be bloody full of beetles instead of zombies. But yeah, uh, did all the forging, now we look like Reinhardt Wilhelm. It's almost as if Overwatch's character design actually isn't that original. Because yeah, look a lot like Reinhardt. This game came out way before. But then again, you could say like every Overwatch character is kind of a knockoff of something else. You know, Genji, Warframe, Tracer, Sonic, Reaper, The Darkness. I mean, come on. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, we farmed a lot of beetles. We've now got 45 minion cap. There's one more totem to go and we'll be at 50. Which is our overall cap, mostly of browns and greens, which are very important for this area. And we're gonna. I've also upgraded my armor a little bit. Oh, you've still got 1% corruption. That will go down eventually. Now, yeah, I've fully upgraded, not fully upgraded my armor, but fully upgraded my helmet, but not my armor. It's got a little bit of regen, a bit of damage resist. My weapon has some damage and some fire damage, which is the same as damage, but it does more damage because it sets the enemy on fire like a red minion would, which is good for enemies like, you know, for like killing peasants because they panic when they're on fire and don't attack. Not good for fireproof enemies though, so, you know, take that into consideration. It doesn't really make a difference though, because, you know, you'll probably only upgrade it massively late game. But yeah, also this weapon does do more damage, not only because it's a mace, but because of it being arcanium, which is handy. So I can confirm that.
The Mother Goddess statue. Stolen. They make us work. Build a new temple. Ugh.
I confess, Master, I have been hatching somewhat of, let's call it, a cunning plan. I won't bore you with details just yet, but it involves gaining access to that statue.
Also, neat little side note, you will get exactly 75 life force per beetle dungeon thing, because there are 25 beetles that drop 3 each. But yeah, you get 75. I figured that out one time when I had 100 minions, did beetles, and had 175, and I was like, oh, there must be 25 beetles. So yeah.
Ah, there's the statue. Judging by that walking cliff beast out there, the dwarves are expecting trouble.
And that's a magma giant.
Disappoint them, Master.
We don't want to fight that. And if you think slugs were bad, this is the enemy for this area. I don't know why it's already missing a large portion of its health. We're going to use this spell because we need to maintain control of our minions. Their bodies also take bloody forever to disappear, so that's fun. I hate these things. We'll be fighting a fair few though. But they only show up here in this area. Now, they're worse in open areas.
Beasts only seem deadly if you get in their way, so don't.
They're basically Melvin Underbelly. Melvin was really ahead of his time. We'll call them mini Melvins, because I genuinely don't know what they're meant to be. They look like armadillos made of rock, but much like the other rock giant we encountered, they drop any colour life force. Which is good, because as you probably noticed, pretty low on minions. Did a lot of forging off camera. It's absurd to get the maximum. The stats of my armor is like 7% health regen or something like that, or 5%. A tiny bit of health regen. Thankfully dwarves are like crash test dummies. Thankfully they drop like a bag of rocks. Now we're glowing like the freaking Rainbow Warrior as well, because yeah. So it happens when you pick up a lot of different colour life force. So yeah, if you've not noticed, the dwarves before we even showed up with our army of goblins, had pretty poor control of their own domain. Between the slugs and these rock creatures. Yeah, I also killed some skull rats, which is how I found out that the Arcanian weapons do a lot more damage. Because we can one-shot skull rats with an Arcanian mace. There we go. Yeah, if they hit you, even when they're not rolling, they are actually still very dangerous, despite what Mel says. They all mess you up.
For you.
They didn't seem too enthusiastic about attacking it there, if I'm honest. But yeah. There's not a lot to this little area, just don't get hit by the rock monsters. You can see them pretty easily from a distance though. No, don't.
Blues.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with minions. It's hard to estimate what they'll do, and yeah, those things, they often destroy bodies, I want to say. Their crushing attack, it depends. It seems that if it's like a glancing hit, it won't instantly decimate
Browns,
them.
reds, greens. Blue. You choose all.
We only lost a green and a blue, that's not too bad. Now here's kind of an enemy of my enemy situation, which I find there's a lot of in this game. There's a lot of opportunities to kill enemies with other enemies. So this poor rock creature is being attacked, and it can't fight back.
Blues. All.
Stupid dwarves. Have that. Oh, Jesus. Still arguably the most deadly enemy in the game.
Brown, reds, greens, greens. You choose all.
We seem to be losing a lot of greens and blues. Disproportionately blues. I know they have low health, but Jesus. So these old rolling thunder guys, we're going to be fighting quite a few of these. I think they're going to opt out of blues because they seem to be good at nothing but dying. How many blues? I have 2 currently, that's enough insurance.
We are to build a temple for our stolen statue. This is the greatest indignity.
Yes, master.
No.
We are the firstborn. We were not meant to do hard labor.
If you hit them whilst they're on their back as well, it seems to do a lot more damage than when they get up.
Destroy our numbers, enslave us. We will never believe the mother goddess is dwarven.
You're probably questioning why we help elves, because they're massive dicks.
This is the greatest indignity.
I mean, much like with the slugs, you can let them out to kill the elves, but you don't get bad karma for that, weirdly.
They can destroy our numbers.
Oh, just stop talking.
We will never believe the mother
I'll let them out
goddess
just so they
is
shut up.
dwarven.
You mustn't see the trees again.
Yeah, they'll yell about rolling demons and shit and run away.
And farewell, friend.
If we go back to Evernight, actually, at a certain point, I believe that it does show more
I must
elves.
return to Evernight.
Yeah, like, they actually do go back there. There's an odd... There's water there. This happens in a few places. There's like...
Goddess, watch over you.
It's weird because...
For you.
It's everything here that we've found. So it's another one of these doors. I'm gonna be Mr. Efficiency and start moving at the next farm. This is like Battle of Helm's Deep, a bridge version. No, I'm not making a custom thumbnail like I did with that Plague Tale joke. That was... Don't get me wrong, but little custom thumbnails are fun to make. Screenshots are just easier. No! I don't know if it's possible to do that.
Browns, blues. You choose all.
Yeah, they're not afraid. You've got a good enough orb. This is why I say bring greens. Any area with big enemies that, you know, do a lot of damage, bring greens. There are a lot of these puzzles here. These air quotes puzzles. This guy, really easy because he's an idiot. Oh, there you go. Only blue resurrected our only other blue. I think those minions might be stuck. That's another problem I have with this area, actually. Minions get stuck really easily. You also have to be a little bit careful here because there's an area here that has just a teeny tiny bit of water, but it's enough for a minion to drown in, and it's really stupid. So yeah, that's really, yeah, that little puddle there. Be careful because your minions can and will drown in that. It's really dumb. I would say the Dwarven domain, you know, Golden Hills, this is where you will lose more minions than anywhere else. There's no other place where you will lose as many. Our lead guy has just a fucking dagger. It's a dagger I see before me. This guy here is a mini-boss. He's also a really annoying mini-boss to fight. He's why you bring a lot of browns. And he's also dealing one of those Beholder Overseer things, which is handy.
Ha! As I suspected, it's the creature from the Elf Temple, sire. June, that bleeding female is still after the statue. Browns.
So here's how you beat this little boss. I recommend doing these quick whilst he's stunned from the last one. And this is why I say send browns. Because greens will try and backstab him and get killed. Browns may try and fight him and die, but... And yeah, there's a lot of life force laying out there. And also it seems oddly the creatures die immediately after. Don't pick up that totem just yet, very important. Yeah, we'll come back for the totem. Also, this dude's body doesn't disappear, so that's fun. That's a fun fact.
Oh, Mama. Masterful work, sire. Now we come to the critical phase in my cunning plan. Sweep brown minions.
You don't have to
onto
sweep
the
them,
statue
you can just send
and
them.
see what happens. Browns.
I don't even think you have to send browns.
Greens. Blue. Greens.
Yeah.
So the old rumors were true. The statue is hollow. Blues. More minions, sire. More. You choose all. Brown. Reds.
I need my browns.
More minions, sire. More. Good. I'm sure the jewel will be back once she sees the coast is clear. I doubt she knows the secrets of the statue. When they arrive in her domain, your minions will creep out and start looking for a gate. Let us leave this place. Give her an object.
He interrupted himself. But yeah, something like give her a chance to do her work in peace, something like that. So yeah, that's Noel's cunning plan, is hide minions in the statue. But yeah, that object that we got, that Noel cut himself off for, that is the next minion totem and the final one. It looks like it enjoys that entirely too much. And I don't like it. It's very unpleasant.
There they go.
It's a weird creature.
Contact me when they have activated a gate for you. Then you may
How are they gonna
spread your
contact
evil domain even further, sire. Won't that be nice? You can summon more minions.
Mo minions, mo problems. Oh well. The opposite, really. Does this loop back in on itself or something? I'm not actually sure. We've done everything here there is to do anyway. So now we've got an army of minions.
Browns. You choose
Although some of them
all.
aren't here with us. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.